It's the After the Show podcast, precious.
We don't care, we're about to swear on the air. It's the After the Show, so tune in if you dare. KVJ, get risque every single day. It's uncensored. We can say what we want to say.
Oh, yeah, baby. Hello, welcome to the KVJ After the Show podcast. Today is National Cheese Day.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Yes, it does. I'm already seeing some great advertisements for National Cheese Day. Things you can get that are cheesy and delicious.
To me, ain't nothing but a grilled cheese party. That's how you celebrate with the grilled cheese.
Okay.
It is one of the finest representations of what cheese brings to the table.
I wish, I'm not kidding you, if I Uber Eats, I want to order something, I wish I was able to order from Virginia's house of her grilled cheeses.
You are, baby.
Don't please, all right, don't call me baby. I'm not comfortable with that.
All you got to do is name your price and text me, and we'll negotiate. If we settle on a number, I will bring them right to your door.
I shit you not. Grilled cheeses are expensive these days, and I would order them from you. You make better grilled cheeses than some of these other son of a bitches.
Look, I got kids. These kids are expensive. I'm willing to have a side hustle of making grilled cheese and driving them around town. At this point, I don't give a shit. I will drive grilled cheese to your house for
the right price.
I think I would do it for like $70. I think I would do it.
$70?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Fuck it.
Wow.
I'd give you a lot of them.
Okay, that's different.
I'd give you a lot of them for that.
Okay.
But that would cover my gas money, all my costs, and then give me a little extra scratch. Yeah.
I would, though.
You spend that on Uber Eats. I know you do.
I have in the past.
You've spent more than that on buying us breakfast.
What is the best dish with cheese?
It's got to be pizza.
It's got to be mac and cheese.
I go pizza, grilled cheese. Look, I ain't going to hate on you for mac and cheese. I think you're right. That's up there. Little fettuccine Alfredo. That is good.
But where cheese is the star. I think grilled cheese is the star.
Understood. Okay, I'll respect the game a little bit better.
Mm-hmm. Do you feel that way with mac and cheese too?
Yeah, cheese is the star.
Absolutely. Grilled cheese, mac and cheese.
I think you have to say it with pizza as well. I'm sorry.
Pizza.
You got to.
But there's the crust is such a big thing too.
And other toppings.
Yeah.
I think you got it. I'm sorry.
It feels like it's kind of lost in the noise.
It's busy.
It is.
I disagree with you guys. I'm sorry. I hate fighting with you guys on National Cheese Day.
What about like nachos? I can't do nachos without hot melted cheese. That is the star of nachos.
Yeah, nachos sound really good.
Oh.
It is also Taco Tuesday, so
I could fuck up some nachos.
I could too. I really could.
Nachos Belgrande is a lot of times on point.
A lot of times
Sometimes they blow it.
a cheese quesadilla.
Oh,
True.
I told CR Chicks just added a quesadilla to their menu. It is so good.
And one of my favorite Mexican dishes, cheese enchiladas. I love cheese enchiladas, especially if there's some rice inside. And
Make it wet.
The only way you get a cheese enchilada is when you get it real wet.
Oh yeah.
We hijacked the show.
Sorry. Well, he brought up cheese.
I did.
He
And
knows all he has
wanted
to
know.
do. All he has to do is say cheese, and then Kevin can sit back and relax for 15 minutes.
That's right.
Anytime Kevin's computer goes down, it's like,
Cheese.
I don't seem to say cheese. I
Yeah.
get you 10 mins easily of content. It's not going to be good.
What about broccoli cheese soup? That's all about cheese.
That's a Denny's. Denny's loves broccoli cheese soup.
It's so
Yeah.
good.
When broccoli is too thick, it's a bully ingredient. When you chop it up finely, I feel like that's the way to do it.
I agree with you. Don't come at me with a broccoli cheese soup with chunks of giant broccoli. I want little stems, little heads. That's it. I don't want big broccoli in my broccoli cheese soup.
Who wants to get fat and sassy today?
Be a day to do it, right?
Kevin ginning me up. He knows what he's doing. Getting me all hopped up, giving me a cheese boner.
Well, it's cheese day. What do you want?
It is.
He's a
Important
topical
stuff.
man. He's a topical man on a topical show.
Beer cheese with pretzels.
Oh, That is so good.
Which, by the way, you don't find that often in the grocery store. Beer cheese is not an easily found cheese item, which is a bit of a problem.
I agree.
They've got a spread kind of a thing that's available, but other than that, you don't see beer cheese or cheese beer, whatever you call it. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, it's very, very cheesy.
Which I'm surprised they don't make that in the grocery store these days.
We need more cheese.
Cheese is all about it. When we asked best dish with cheese, we got a tie between grilled cheese and mac and cheese.
Well, people are saying, Jay Bird, we don't agree with you and your pizza thoughts.
You know what you have to do? Just make a grilled cheese with mac and cheese in it.
Oh,
Cover all your bases.
hey, Kev, 1999 called. They want their idea back.
Right, huh?
I just think that you should combine the two.
Yeah, duh.
When you throw in the best dish with cheese and add pizza, it's grilled cheese number 1, pizza 2, mac and cheese 3. Very close though, and it's changing. Like crazy.
Wait a minute, I just refreshed it.
Yeah, it's changing
Look,
like crazy.
This is the important stuff that we should be polling people about. Not who's going to win the presidential election. What is the most important way to get cheese in your belly?
That's right.
We are talking, it is turning into a neck and neck fight. Pizza versus grilled cheese, slugging it out.
Right now you got grilled cheese at 39, pizza at 34, mac and cheese at 27.
Dang.
And let me tell you, you can make a delicious pizza grilled cheese. That's amazing.
Okay.
I wish you guys ate fatty foods like I do. I would make you guys the best pizza grilled cheese. It's so delicious.
I do the cheese, I don't do the carbs.
I know. And then I'd put so much fucking sauce on this thing. You would just be...
I'm okay with the sauce.
what
That's
kind of toppings do you want?
If I do a pizza, what I would do, and this is on my diet now, cheese, of course. We do everything from chicken, spinach. I like olives.
God, I hate the way you pizza.
Yeah, it's more of a Mediterranean. I'm close to a Mediterranean kind of pie. Spinach.
Gosh,
Yeah.
I've never hated anything more.
Yeah.
When you call, you just say, hey, I'll have the bitch ass.
Love it.
Give me the weakest
that
pizza.
healthy, delicious, flavorful.
Hold
Yeah,
the
baby.
smiles. Hold the
Oh
fun.
no, I'm smiling like crazy, Virginia.
You like hummus though.
Love hummus.
I'm telling you.
I do.
Don't listen to
I
this.
like
witch.
Mediterranean food,
I can make you a great hummus pizza. I can
Okay.
do it.
but you put the carbs is what kills it.
I
The
know.
hummus I'll do.
Not that fun to cook for, Kev.
I know. Yeah, because you're all about carbs and sugars. That's what I don't eat.
He's
So,
way more fun to drink with
yeah, we don't-
than
we
he
don't
is to
intersect.
eat with.
Yeah.
Drink with Kev.
Our menu doesn't intersect
Don't eat
much.
with Kev.
Yeah, it's limited.
But me, there's a few things we cross over on.
A few. There's a
Fried
few.
pickled chips, but that's something
Yeah.
you don't get down on.
That's kind of my cheat meal. Yeah, I'll do that.
I mean, I could eat those. Go down quick, man.
We
are
know.
good.
You can eat a bucket. Kevin has 4.
He's good.
That's all how you do it. So today you've got National Cheese Day. It's National Hug Your Cat Day.
Because last week was International Hug Your Cat Day. We
Yeah.
talked about it on Weird and Whatever.
Yeah, today don't hug a Spanish cat. So
only
American cats.
I got a cat you can hug.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Yeah.
Are you talking about
I think she's talking about
It's the only cat I have.
Gosh, lady.
right.
Tuck it back in.
Nope.
Oh, we know she's got a short cookie, though, Kev.
Oh, I know. We've heard a lot about her
Meow.
vagina.
Meow.
Yeah, so there you go. That's a couple things to celebrate today. I do have a little bit more information. I dropped what's on my mind today, and one thing that affected me was back probably about 10, 15 years ago now. I had a little compact truck that I wasn't allowed to park in my driveway because I've got an HOA, just how it went. And I moved into my house not really knowing what an HOA was, because they had never had them anywhere else I'd lived.
You were so young, so naive.
Yeah.
And you probably weren't even sure if you were going to be staying there your whole life. You didn't probably know,
Sure.
right?
Yeah. So I'm
And
like,
you'd never
all right.
heard of such a ridiculous thing as you can't park your own vehicle you own in your own driveway you own.
I never knew that was a thing until
It's so stupid.
I went out the next morning to get in my truck and they towed it. I didn't
Right.
see the sign.
crazy.
The sign was blocked. You couldn't really even see it, and they were real nice. The tow company.
So now a new law has been signed that goes into effect on July 1st that aims to protect homeowners from excessive fines by HOAs that too often lead to late fees, attorney's fees, and ultimately liens that force residents out of their homes. I believe I remember hearing a story about a guy that was flying the American flag and it violated the HOA, and they put a lien on his house, and he's going to be forced out of his home because he was flying the American flag.
Unbelievable.
Right.
I mean, the people on this HOA should be slapped. That is offensive.
So this new law requires boards to give homeowners 14 days written notice of their right to a hearing to contest notices of violations. And it also puts restrictions on HOAs on what they can collect fines for. They will not be able to fine homeowners for failing to bring in a trash can within 24 hours before or after collection time. They'll be barred from banning work vehicles with signage, as well as personally owned pickup trucks from parking in driveways or community parking lots.
Oh, that's big. In my neighborhood, you're not allowed to have a work truck with like a logo. I parked, because we had one of the radio station vehicles one time, and I parked it there, and some bitch said something to me, and I was like, oh, you don't want to go.
What did she say?
You can't park that here overnight. The fuck I can. I'm sorry.
Give it a month.
Yeah, in 1 month, you can park your work vehicle in your driveway. What if you're a working guy who's got a plumbing truck with all of his equipment in it, or a plumbing van? Where's that guy going to park his vehicle to go to work each and every day?
Who the shit cares
Who
if
the
they've got
fuck
a logo
cares?
on their truck? Have you ever, in a million years, ever been a thing?
Would never, ever care about something so petty and stupid. That's how that man is making a living. Why would you try to tell him he can't park his own vehicle in his own driveway?
I guess that maybe that rule became a thing because people had shitty-looking cars that they thought were bringing down the value. But if someone's got just a regular logo on their car, why should they be punished for that?
Yeah, I think it's pretty silly, too. HOAs are also going to be barred from regulating what homeowners can place inside of their homes that's not visible from outside the home, which that's insane. Somebody could tell you that.
That's very insane that someone could tell you what you can put in your house. But I wouldn't be surprised if some HOA tried to do it. That's why they're having to make this law now.
I'll never, ever. That's why it took me so long to find a house, because I couldn't deal with an HOA.
You were smart.
Like, fuck that.
I would have a pool right now if I would have thought the way you did.
Mm-hmm. The problem that you have in Florida, and somebody said, well, just get a house without an HOA. Yeah, but what it does, it takes 45% of all homes off the market for you.
Wow.
So 45% of all homes in Florida are in HOAs. That's the most of any state in America.
Believe me, it was not as easy as one could think trying to find a house without an HOA.
Right.
It took me quite a
It's
while
already
to
hard
find
enough to find a house. Yeah. It also prohibits HOAs from fining residents for leaving holiday decorations up longer than allowed by government documents unless a written notice is issued. So,
Okay, so they can't just walk around and go, Bob still has his decorations up. It's February. Slap him with a fine. They have to give him a notice first and give him the opportunity for 14 days to take him down.
Oh, HOA would hate my 9.5-foot werewolf. They would hate it.
They would hate it.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, to me, we have an HOA, and part of it's the pool and all that kind of stuff, which we never use. I haven't been there probably in 14 years. And the only thing I like is they do the lawn care service out front. But they give me cable that I don't necessarily want to buy. That's mandatory. And then who knows what else the money's going for, but it's gotten crazy expensive.
How long would it take for you to get a knock on the door or a notice if you had a 9.5-foot werewolf in your front yard?
There was a woman that was two women that were policing, and they're not the way they used to be. But yeah, we would get a note. We had a woman who wasn't even on the HOA that would leave notes about stuff.
Isn't that insane?
It's just they have nothing better to do, and they're just miserable in their skin, and they just want to be mean to people. I don't know. I can't imagine that's the way you want to end your days, because a lot of these biddies are pretty old. Mm-hmm. You're about to go meet your maker. Shouldn't you try to start being nice to people?
Yeah. So that is going to be something that's going to take away their power.
good. Less power for the HOA means more power for the people.
Yes, Corinne said HOA meetings gone wrong on TikTok are hilarious and infuriating. I could never live in one. And it's tough, but I mean, with this, they will be limited a lot. So that is fantastic news. Let me see some other stuff that is going on. I keep seeing that shares of GameStop are climbing again.
Denny's?
And they went up 21% yesterday. And it's these meme stocks. Something the cat or something like that. There's this guy that apparently keeps driving this up. And I don't know a lot about it, but I want to get on it to find more about what this story is all about.
You know about this, Denny?
Because it sounds pretty crazy.
With the game spot stocks and stuff?
Yeah, I guess there's somebody, it's supposed to be more for the common man that this whole thing is about. I don't fully understand what it's all about, but they even did a movie that you can watch on Netflix, and it's on my watch list. It's called Dumb Money. And it says a YouTuber obsessed with the stock market makes a big bet that spurs his followers to rapidly invest in GameStop, turning Wall Street upside down. And then the guy went away, and now he's back again, and he's doing the same thing, driving up the GameStop prices on stocks. Pete Davidson was in this movie, so Seth Rogen. That you can see.
Yeah, I remember.
Dumb Money, yeah, on Netflix now.
I remember when that was going down. I think that Robinhood app had just not came out, but it got popularized right around the pandemic when it was starting. And I think on I forget what website it was. It wasn't Reddit, but it was like one of those websites. They would get together and they all decided to drive up the stock of GameStop and retake control. And it actually screwed a bunch of CEOs and stuff out. I think they were trying to get rid of the stock or to get rid of the company and sell it, and they did that to screw over that decision.
Okay.
And it ended up screwing them a bunch, and a bunch of people put money into the GameStop stock and drove it way up. And then I think they equalized it. A lot of people sold it and stuff, but I think they did it to prove that if people get together and they can make this decision, they can overtake stocks from people who do this as a profession, as an inside trading type thing.
Yeah. It's pretty insane.
You got all that, Virginia?
Nope.
So it's
Not a bit, huh?
don't understand. You might as well be talking Spanish.
I saw her.
I don't fucking understand a word you just said.
Her eyes were rolling back in her head.
And I'm trying to read about it. I'm like reading GameStop stock
So they just started
stories,
kind of
which
bringing
is hard
it back.
to say.
Yeah, it was a thing for a while, and then it dropped, and everyone kind of forgot about it. So the fact that they're doing it again, I just saw an article about it last week about how they're doing it again.
Yeah, this is the guy, and he drove him up a little bit last week, I saw, and then boom, just yesterday went up another 21%. So
Who's Roaring Kitty?
that's the person that's driving it up with the meme stocks.
A lot of cat talk today, all right?
Rawr. If your kitty's
Yeah.
roaring, go to the gyno.
He's just a regular looking dude. that's doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, you can see who he is.
Again, I thought this all started as a discussion that something about GameStop was selling all their stocks or they were dissolving the company, whatever it was, and they all got together and decided to drive up the cost of that stock. And that was how it all started. It was right pre-pandemic.
Sounds like Virginia wants us to stop talking about this.
I just want to understand it because every time somebody talks about it, I feel dumber.
Yeah, I don't think it's necessarily
get it.
real. I think they're doing it for real, but I don't think they're doing it to make money and stuff. I think
they're trying to show the power of the common man.
that's exactly what it is. Once they started making these apps that you can gamble with,
Yeah.
or to do the stock market with, rather, a lot of normal people have just been kind of jumping in without any sort of knowledge or anything.
And now that you can use social media or YouTube, like this person was, and you can get everybody on the same page, then you can go and you can really affect.
Well, yeah,
how
if you're
things
watching
work.
stocks all day and it's low, and then all of a sudden you see it rising, it's going to get everyone's attention. And then it started becoming, like they said, a meme stock. So people started memeing it, and then other people just started doing it.
That's
And
when everyone on Wall Street go, buy, sell.
yeah,
Sweat.
I think it screwed some higher ups out of something. I remember that going down, and I thought, oh, that's cool. They're showing that you can be regular people, get together and change the stock market like this.
You can make a difference.
You can.
People,
I can't, but maybe you can because you
People-
seem to understand it.
people
I
love
just remember reading about it.
I remember you talking about it.
Yeah, I thought you thought that was kind of a cool thing. I think there's a lot of flack that if people that I guess there's a few companies that control a lot of how the stocks are traded, and their decisions really drive what is being traded for how much, or whether it's popular or not, whatever that be. So this group is kind of trying to do the opposite, try to prove that people can do it as well, not just companies.
It's one of those things you always see in the movies. It looks cool. I'd love to do it one time in my life. Be in the middle of some kind of a stock craze. We gotta buy, no sell.
Like right before they had the COVID vaccine, if like somebody would have been like, "Hey, go buy some Pfizer or whatever, go buy in those stocks."
Does it get crazy like that in the movies though, or is that just for the movies?
I
Do
don't
people
know.
just lose their mind?
So
Yeah,
I don't know
no.
if the stock market's the same as it was in the 80s, because I think
Can
then,
I just have my fantasy?
yeah, I hear you. I don't know if you have to bring paper slips up and have somebody bet for you anymore.
Paper slips. You're
I don't
adorable.
think they do that anymore.
Buy.
Yeah, so this guy, Keith Gill, is the man behind Roaring Kitty, and he surged up the game stock, and it apparently at one point was valued at $48 million, and then the guy just kind of disappeared from public life in 2021, and then 3 years later, he pops back in and is driving it back up again.
He probably sold all his stocks, then just lived. And
Yeah.
Now he's trying to do the same thing again.
He's just now out of money.
He's
He's
like,
going
bro.
every night to the strip club.
Yeah.
The one clip that they keep showing on the news from Dumb Money is where this girl's asking him, okay, how much are we up? He's like, yesterday we were up 48 million. She's like, how are we doing today? We're down $1 billion. So it's something like, dumb money is easy come, easy go. And that's what the stock market's like.
And Virginia's right. Titties ain't cheap.
No, they're not.
If you make a few million on the stock market and then you go out of the limelight for 2 years, you will be broke in 2 years if you go to the strip club every night.
You will.
You think you're never gonna run out?
You do. Mm-hmm. Them titties ain't cheap.
Yeah, somebody texted in and said, yeah, I made a bunch of money with stocks during the pandemic. I started with cruise lines and also rode the GameStop wave. They were screwing the investment funds doing short sales on GameStop.
There was something they were doing that everyone got mad about, and that's kind of what started the uprising.
Yeah, I want to get in and try to at least understand it, because I've heard that. I know the billionaire who's got a lot of buildings in downtown West Palm, Jeff Green, that's apparently how he made his money. He shorted the stock market. And I got to figure out what the hell does that even really mean.
When you figure it out, will you tell us?
I will.
I'll just give you
I'll
the
try
money.
to get it. I'll
I'm
break it
actually cool
down
if you
for
don't
my
wanna talk to me.
my basic explanation of how it goes.
'Cause I'd love to get in on some free money, but I don't think I'm smart enough to figure out how to do it.
Right.
I was talking to Kasutz, understands some of this stuff. Kasutz, I don't know anything about the stocks. I just want to put some money in Nabisco. What do you think? It's like, all right, well, let's check it out. Starts crunching numbers for me.
They do say that. They say the best thing to do, find something that you might like, and then you take a look at it, see what the stock is doing, and then put some money in it, whatever you have, and then just leave it. And don't keep checking
That's the
it.
best. If you check it
Just-
every day, you'll go crazy.
Right.
You
And-
shouldn't check anything every day.
Nah.
no. And
Unless it's your kid.
yeah, they say just for what
Check
you're
on your
doing.
kids every day. Definitely.
Definitely. At least till they're 18.
At least till they're 10.
It's a good strategy. Okay, so that's what's going on with that.
Well, I don't feel any smarter. I kind of
No.
feel dumb.
I don't either. I'm hoping I'll get some more emails, and then I'm going to invest in trying to learn what the hell all that means and what it's all about, because I do not know.
You are going to get the longest of emails
Oh.
of somebody explaining that to
Write
you.
it for somebody who's not very smart.
Write it for a fourth grader.
That's right. Or like I'm 5. I'll go with that. Help me understand. I got somebody in defense of me wearing a Panthers jersey. Steven said I had to reach out after hearing that a so-called Panthers fan had the nerve to call into the show to complain about V. Kevin Ralston showing support for our Cats. I've been a fan of this team since day one, watching every game that has ever been played. And with that being said, just like the Marlins that came with many, many, many dark years of losing, you've seen that with the Panthers as well. No fans in the stands. And a lot of teams who would show up, they would have more fans than we would. And so they would outnumber us in our own home.
Yeah,
and now
that
you're complaining
sucks.
about Kevin supporting our team. You must be a bandwagon fan yourself.
Dang. In your face.
That's right. You know what also helps our team win? Support. Our local fans and the community jumping in together. The players themselves say all the time they love the support. Keeps that engine running and the cup run alive and thriving. This builds a winning culture and helps promote our team to other future players waiting to come down here and build on that culture that we've established. So next time you want to come for the Kevin Ralston about being a bandwagon fan, you need to look yourself in the mirror and ask, do you really support this team or are you a Fairweather fan yourself?
Yeah, suck it. In fact, suck our cat.
The other thing too, more cat talk. You've defended and have talked about the Panthers way before them being a winning team.
You did. You've been
This is
saying
not-
go Cats for a while.
I've seen you
Yeah.
wear Panther stuff before.
Yeah.
Or you're good.
Self-admitted, I am not a huge hockey enthusiast and don't know a ton about the sport, but I have gone to games, I've watched it, and when I have, I've enjoyed it. It's been lovely.
We stand with Kevin Ralston.
Yes, we stand with any fans of any team that's going to support and show love. And it's just fun to be excited about the possibility of winning the Stanley Cup. That's cool.
It's an odd complaint.
Well, is it just natural that more people are going to jump into the fray and get more excited when a team is winning and
Of
they're playing for
course.
something with a lot on the line?
Duh. Yeah.
People like to win. What?
That's how it usually works.
Right.
You become more popular when you win.
Yeah.
Winning makes you happy. What?
There you go.
Losing really does suck, though.
Oh, let's talk about your day.
I'm just kidding. I'm totally.
Sarah said, yeah, I actually drove all the way from Tampa to go to the Panthers game. Now, that's a diehard fan.
Wow, they're not supporting the Lightning?
She is a displaced Panther fan in Lightning
Wow.
territory.
That's crazy.
So that would be tough. So there you go. Somebody was asking here, Tammy, about the rap show that I was watching on Netflix. It's something that I have had on my list for a very long time. And I started realizing, I want to start seeing some of these documentaries have just been sitting there for a long time. So it's nothing that is new. In fact, that Dumb Money that I just talked about on my Netflix list has been sitting there for a while. I still got that stupid Madoff thing that's sitting there about Bernie Madoff. So I got a lot of. Apparently, the financial things are not speaking to me, Virginia.
You'd rather be done with your money.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be going for that stuff. Yeah, so if you go on there, it was hip hop something or other. I think if you just hit hip hop, it should come up.
Kind of make you want to get in the booth, spit some lyrics.
Hip Hop Evolution is the name of it. If you go and check it out. What was awesome about it is going through it because they've got a whole bunch of different seasons. There's 4 different seasons. Each season only has about 4 episodes in it. But it starts and it tells you the history of hip hop. And for me, I went and found some pretty cool stuff from eras or things I didn't know. Like a little Wu-Tang Clan, old school Nas when he first started. I was like, oh man, those are cool songs. Songs I've maybe heard before. I was like, okay, I got to add that to the collection. So, yeah, that's what it's called, Hip Hop Evolution.
You say the word, I'll book any kind of studio time you want at Sasquatch North. Let's get you in the booth.
No,
You got
I
some
don't think I'm
truth
there
to
yet.
spit.
Yeah. Well, after watching it, you realize how much practice it takes and how these guys, they truly are artists. It's amazing.
yeah.
They're like poets.
Of course.
What they say about society, it's truly an art form and not a skill I possess, unfortunately. Wish I did.
We'd get you flipping it in a month.
Okay, get me going. All right.
Yeah, you just have to zone in on it and have the time for it. That's what
Yes.
I don't think you have the time for it, but I think you definitely have the potential to write.
You got an MC spirit, Kevin.
Okay.
You could make a great verse. I believe in you.
One great verse. That's all you need.
He's got one bar in him.
He's got one in him.
That's right. I'll take it. Well, that's what they had said about Nas, which was crazy. He had a lot of hype. He was just a teenager, and it was one bar. He threw out one bar that apparently was so amazing, he got signed
Wow.
to that, and people were talking about it, and they're like, what else do you have? And they're like, well, that's all we have right now. And they're like, okay.
And on the other end, Eazy-E couldn't rap for shit, and they had to really help him teach him how to rap. He wasn't great on the microphone.
Really?
And funny
Okay.
enough, I love Eazy-E's voice.
Me too.
He does have some
right.
whack rhymes on some of this stuff, but
Yeah.
he I love his voice.
I
really
love
do. But he
his
struggled
voice.
rapping.
Yeah, it is fascinating. That's what the one thing that's where I was learning about Notorious B.I.G., who was just really pretty solid at it, really good, like a natural. And the Junior Mafia was the people he had on his label, and they were just his friends from the project. Then he wanted to see them get out, and so he was writing their lyrics for them and their rhymes, and he was teaching them how to spit them out, Virginia.
I love that. So he was like a man of the people, trying to help the people and trying to get away from the bad boy whole thing. Mm-hmm. And then they gunned him down.
Yeah.
That's fucked.
Well,
the wrong person took a bullet in that whole scenario.
Well, the thing that was kind of crazy with it was 6 months after the killing of Tupac Shakur, and the East-West thing was very tense. And a lot of his friends were saying, dude, I don't think it's a good time for you to go west, because he was from New York. And so Notorious B.I.G., he did a West Coast tour trying to bring love and peace. And
Going back to Cali.
And he went out there and started in San Francisco. And by the time he worked his way down to L.A., they gunned him down. So they said, look, he said the 6 months, all that did, it didn't create time to heal. It created time to plan. And so they were planning on, because a lot of people thought that he was responsible for Tupac's, and it doesn't seem like he was. Who knows? Diddy probably did that shit too.
Yeah, let's pin everything on Diddy.
I like it. Let's just, everything goes on
I
Diddy.
think I heard that Diddy was responsible for COVID.
No, they're going after Fauci today.
Oh, they are getting Fauci.
Oh, my God.
I'm not trying to get political. I'm just trying to make jokes.
Well,
That
Fauci
poor- I
said
felt bad for that guy yesterday, man.
he was like, "Yeah, I just kind of made up the 6 feet thing. It wasn't based on anything."
Really? He said that? Oh, shit.
He said he then kind of spun it on the CDC and said that was kind of what they had said before with droplets, but it was more of an aerosol thing.
Like, I just made that shit up.
He was getting grilled hard, man.
Well, if he made shit up, should he be getting grilled?
Well,
Did he
it's
make-
semantics.
Did he make shit up or not? I've been so unplugged. I don't want to speak out of turn, and I'm not trying to get political.
I think all he was saying is he should have been more clear with that. And yeah, there's people that are just coming after him. So, it's hardcore. Like I said, my mama was one of them, man. Last time I talked to her, she was still, in her own way, motherfucking Fauci. So
At least we don't have to hear about mask fighting anymore.
True.
Gosh, that shit
Yeah.
was just. Oh.
it's nice to have that behind us.
They proved that the mask really didn't help us that much.
Well, then
Because the COVID is smaller than perfume. And if you walk by somebody with perfume, you could still smell it through a mask.
Well, then forget.
So the COVID could get through if the perfume could get through.
Well, forgetful Frank over here. I mean, just wanting to go to Publix to be halfway through the parking lot. I'm like, shit, I have to go get my fucking mask.
You just didn't want people to yell at you. That's what
it was
sucked.
Right. That's what it was about.
Yes.
And then my mask was so dirty. I was probably doing myself more harm putting this nasty fucking mask on
Yeah.
my mouth that I only wore when I had to go in places.
I didn't get COVID, but I got strep throat.
Yeah,
I actually did get COVID.
I gave myself a bacterial infection.
yeah. When we talk about infections, one of the most bizarre stories we had yesterday in the Whacked Out News was this guy dies next to his sex doll. And I don't know if he just slept by it every night or he just fucked himself to death.
Maybe he did fuck himself to death, but look, he went out smiling.
He
Hey,
coulda,
why
yeah.
it could be both.
Yeah, hey, he could have blown out his heart doing it. And so the paramedics go in there and they find this guy. Of course, you got to take him out on a gurney. But one of the paramedics was like, that thing's kind of hot. So he went back on his own later and told the authorities, yeah, I got to go get, we had a gurney in there. I got to go get that. And so what he did, he goes in there and starts fucking that doll. And the cops are like, you're not supposed to lock the door, man. The door's locked. What's that guy doing in there?
He didn't wait for the cops to leave?
No. And so they went back in and be like, what are you doing? And his pants were all disheveled and his shirt was out and he was hitting it with the sex doll. And they arrested him.
He didn't clean that doll. A guy like that,
No.
he is going in for the sloppy seconds.
It
But
was
how
just-
good was that doll?
I mean, it was just you're just like, how twisted are some people that you would see that? I mean, what a twisted scene that a guy dies next to a sex doll, and all you're thinking is not how messed up is that, how hot is that?
I gotta get in
and
that.
how much I want to hit
So
it.
the guy that bought the doll, okay, we all get it's weird, but the guy that goes in there,
Oh,
as
yeah,
a
a different
paramedic
level.
to pork the
A
doll,
different level.
porking a doll. We know he didn't clean it.
We know
A
he
different level.
That is, dude.
Yeah, and Anna said, yeah, he had then put the. I think he hit it because they talked about his pants being disheveled, but then he put the sex doll in a body bag
And tried to take it.
Yeah, he then was trying to take it, and I think that's So he was going to take it home and get it again.
So he was.
It was his doll now.
He was moved by this doll.
He just, I don't know.
Again, I asked the question, can we get a brand, model number, and name of doll? This doll must be so fantastic.
What an endorsement.
What
for
an
this sex doll,
endorsement.
that you're there doing your job and you're just overcome with lust.
Overcome.
I bet there was so much cum.
So
That thing was so sticky.
Oh my god.
And he
Oh my
loved it.
God.
He loved it.
He had to work quick.
it's unbelievable.
We know he didn't clean it because the cops were still there. He had to work.
It's one of the most disturbing, unbelievable stories I've had in the Whacked Out News. It just blew my mind.
Do you have a picture of this guy? Can we see a mugshot? I need more.
I didn't. Yeah. I'm sure if you did a deeper dive, there's probably some details that we would just be loving that I don't know anything more.
I need it.
It's unreal.
And these dolls are only going to get better and more realistic and more like humans. They are.
Well, I mean, look at the passion on this. You know, people have fought over girlfriends before. How long before people are thrown down over sex dolls?
I told you we're going to be living in a robot society. I know y'all think I'm fucking crazy.
Well, Tracy said there's a series on Netflix called Louder Milk, and there's an episode where one of the characters is house sitting for one of the other characters, and they find their sex doll, and they just can't get enough of it.
Oh my god!
Could you imagine?
All right, now I want to
Like, it's like that is unbelievable. I couldn't even imagine if I found my buddy's sex doll. You're like, all right, I'm gonna take a couple rounds on this thing.
Oh my
I'll
gosh!
take it for a spin.
Here's his mugshot. That's him.
Okay.
He needs it.
That's the paramedic guy.
That's the guy who broke into the dead man's house and stole the sex
Is
doll.
it what you think? Describe him.
I mean, he looks like a guy in his mid-30s, a little chubby. But, I mean,
He looks.
he's not creepy as what I thought. I thought he'd be much creepier.
Wow.
I don't know. I just that story's gonna stick with me, dog.
As I guess it should. Stick.
Stuck with him, too.
It's a Hall of Fame whacked out news story.
It is. Yeah, no, it is a Hall of Famer. If you'd had to do some of the best ones that have just stuck with you over the years, that is clearly one of them.
And here's the thing too: you never know what someone's into. You think you know the person you work with. You think you know your next door neighbor.
You don't.
You don't. You just don't.
You barely know yourself.
Sometimes you don't even know yourself.
Well, you drive them down the street, there's probably a lot more sex dolls than you'd ever think.
1,000%
But
agree.
again, this story is not about a guy with a sex doll. This is about a guy who goes in as a paramedic to have sex and then try to jack a deceased man's sex doll that he just died beside.
So I think we're all here collected defending the first guy. He had a sex doll. He fucked a sex doll. It
his
is what it
level,
is.
his kink factor is only, all right.
May not be your cup of soda, but we're not going to judge him.
Yeah.
We're
Right.
judging the guy that went in there and fucked
With
his
a
doll.
body bag, and he's
my
going to remove it and take it home and fuck it some more.
Oh, the things that were going to be done to that doll.
That's what's unbelievable.
Thank God they saved the doll.
That poor doll. So where does the doll go? If you die with a sex doll, because that's probably not something you put in a will. So who gets the sex doll?
I think the family that comes to clean out your apartment,
That-
they figure out what they do with it.
But who fights over that? And who has to, what winds up with that? Does it just wind up in the garbage? Because if
Yes.
it does,
Yes.
that's almost a shame. Because at that point, when this guy gets out of jail, shouldn't he be allowed to throw in a bid for this sex doll?
I have zero compassion for that guy, the guy that.
But
did
don't.
this.
But no, I have compassion for the sex doll.
Then yes, the doll.
But does the doll belong in a dumpster?
If I died and my family cleaned out my house and found a sex doll, they would
put it in a black trash bag
and throw it away.
and they would throw it away,
destroy it, and then
with whatever
talk about
stuff.
it a lot.
Yeah.
Talk about it. It would come up every Christmas. We have tendencies to bring up shit from the past. What a story.
I'm sure people that have to be the cleaner find so much interesting stuff that they had no idea who their family member really was.
Well, I even told you after my mom passed, we were shocked, or at least some of us were shocked that she was on certain medications we didn't know about. We were shocked to find she had journals that she was writing and stuff that we.
Yeah.
Now that's no sex
Sure.
doll or anything. But it was something we had no idea that was going on in her head or she was dealing with.
So you have the journals and you've read them?
I decided not to read them.
Oh.
But yeah.
Who's got them?
I think my sister does.
Wow.
Virginia really wants to make this depressing.
I know. I want I mean, that to me is fascinating.
But no, I think you're right. I think when someone passes, you're going to find some shit.
Yeah, and a lot of the stuff, typically, it's going to find a place. But a sex doll, it doesn't sound like does. So does every sex doll that's ever created only have one owner, and then it winds up in a landfill?
Are you kind of getting Kevin wants to fuck a sex doll?
I don't want to fuck it. I just can't believe that you just throw it away, especially considering what a coveted item it is.
Kevin's like, what? You're going to throw away a perfectly good sex doll?
To me, that's not a perfectly good sex doll, by the way. I would argue that's the worst kind of sex doll to ever get.
But there's always going to be somebody who would take it. If you put that thing on the open market, on the black web, the dark web,
you'd even get
people would get it in a heartbeat. They would scoop that thing up.
Well, you know, because you're dabbling in that fetish world of feet. You're right. Some people would go, "Don't clean it. I'll pay more. I'll pay more for it to be dirty."
I dare you to put it on next door and see who takes it.
I bet somebody would, man. If I put a sex doll out by my mailbox, it'd be gone in 5 minutes, if that.
KJ did say, you know, it is kind of wasteful when you put it that way, Kev. And Anna says, I say clean it up and donate it to Goodwill.
I don't think Goodwill wants it.
Is there a secondary
No.
market for sex dolls?
Goodwill does not want it.
If you had a company that said, look, this thing has been as treated as you can get, it's a secondhand sex doll, could you not have a market for that?
There's absolutely
Is a business person.
Absolutely.
1,000%.
People
Right.
would buy the used sex dolls.
You have made me see the error in my way.
Okay,
and
good.
I think
this is a business opportunity. A secondhand sex doll store.
What a bizarre story, man.
Think of the money you could save. Yeah, 79% of people said you always throw away every sex doll. But there's 20% who get it.
20% would be your consumers that
It's an entrepreneur mind.
1 out of 5 in our chat room want to fuck a doll. That's just what that tells me.
It's not even about, look, the market for and seeing the value in it.
I'm not talking about you, Ross. I'm not talking about that 20%.
Okay.
Look, inflation, we all want a bargain. You get a sex doll for 80% off.
Okay.
That is a deal.
And are these sex dolls just next level going, oh my gosh, the pussy, smussy, I just want this for the rest of my life. Who cares about the real cat, to bring it back to the cat?
Hug a cat day.
Yeah. Is it that amazing that you just go, I'm done with humans?
Yeah, there might be people, honestly, because look, the rejection and everything else, it's easy peasy, man. The relationship, you dictate it.
Imagine getting these dolls to a point where after you have sex with it, they're able to cuddle you. And, oh, Kevin, your hair looks great today.
They're already there.
You're doing a great job.
Those
Right.
already exist.
Yeah, for sure.
But you just have to pay a very premium price right now. I think getting that premium doll on the secondary market would be an amazing bargain.
And that's just it. There will be somebody take this idea and make a secondary sex doll market, and you will probably be the next Palm Beacher.
Something tells me it's already out there.
Secondhand pussy.
It's obviously a thing.
Yeah. Just what would you call it? I mean, all we need to do is come up with a name, trademark it, call it good. Somebody thinks the consignment shop.
That's
Open
good.
up. And then there you go. We went a lot of great business ideas today, from GameStop stock to secondary sex doll markets.
What do we name this podcast?
Oh my God, sex doll trader. It's a whole thing. Used sex dolls for sale.
Of course, some
Huge
twisted
deals.
person beat us to it.
Clearance.
I just don't think.
There's
I'm
so
not
many
good.
websites, Kevin.
Just when you
geez.
think you're sick enough, someone's always sicker.
All right. Well, somebody beat us there. Never mind. All right. Sorry. Need a new idea tomorrow. Goodbye.